morning, everyone. Today is Beyond the Script, and we welcome you for a conversation about collaboration and action. And wanted to talk to you a little bit about how Prime and our health plans work together and really collectively harnessing our goals and working toward things like managing lower drug cost and better clinical outcomes and ultimately better member outcomes and working with providers as well. So right now, we're thinking about how that collaboration might come to life. And so we wanted to invite one of our health plan leaders. And today, I will be happy to introduce him in just a moment. But first, I'll introduce myself. I'm Karen DeZearn. I'm Vice President for Client Engagement at Prime Therapeutics. And I welcome you today as we have this 15 or 20 minutes to engage so you can see more about how we work together with our health plans. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Samir Mistry. He is one of our important health plans, and he is our Vice President for Pharmacy Services and Strategy at Capital Blue Cross. So welcome, Samir. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure
So
to
why
be
don't
here.
you tell everybody a little bit about what you do at Capital so that they have a little bit of a perspective before we jump in?
Sure. So I lead the pharmacy program at Capital Blue Cross, and that entails accountability for our overall pharmacy vision and strategy, as well as the performance of our pharmacy program and how we deliver savings and value to our customers in many lines of business. A significant portion of our business is self-funded employers, but we're also in the Medicare space as well. So I have the oversight of Prime Therapeutics and our relationship and what we do together and how we leverage value to our customers together as a partnership.
Thanks for that, Samir. Before we really jump in with a couple of questions I have, and then we'll turn it over to the audience, just a reminder to those of you that are listening today that you can always submit questions into the chat. We'll get to as many as we can. We only have a little bit of time today, but we look forward to your participation. So, Samir, I'll start with a broad question and just ask you to sort of share from your seat, really, what have we done together, your PBM and the health plan, in order to really manage those drug costs? I think people will be most interested in hearing that.
Sure. I'll give you two perspectives on this response. So one is internal, and I'll speak to the teams that work together on a day-to-day basis. So, we've crafted a vision and a strategy on how we manage drug costs. We focus on, lowest net cost, but we also look at managing cost effectiveness with the ingredient cost and list price as well. So it's a balanced approach. And ultimately, there's so many new drug technologies that hit the market, and they're there to treat diseases that have unmet needs and to save lives. And so our goal is to create a balance. So we want to make sure that we have a sustainable drug benefit. We allow the ability to support these new drug technologies that are saving people's lives, but also remove waste to create a sustainable drug benefit. And I think that's what everyone's been talking about over the last few years, is that drug costs are unsustainable. So how do we allow and create access for medications that are innovative and life-changing and remove waste at the same time so we can, provide sustainability for our customers as well as ourselves. And so that's what we work with internally with our team that supports us from Prime Therapeutics. And the team that knows us and works with us every day, they understand our goals. They understand how we look at trends, how we look at data, how we make decisions. And so, the fact that they know us and understand us and bring recommendations to us that make a lot of sense, we're able to work together very efficiently to make informed decisions and just move our program forward as we go. So that's the internal component.
Yeah.
I also want to speak about an external component. And I think what's really unique with the relationship with Prime is that Prime brings all of us health plan leaders together in forums on a regular basis. And I see this as extremely valuable because Prime brings in all the pharmacy leaders from all the health plan clients that we all have together. We meet, very regularly. We talk about strategies and programs, and we provide each other feedback. And I learn a lot from my peers, and I think this forum is very valuable to me personally. And I hope the rest of us have the same feeling as well. But that external focus and that collaborative nature between all of the plans that are working together with Prime, I think is extremely valuable.
It's good to be transparent, as you know. It's important that we do this together. I have a question come in from Julie and said, "What can we expect from the Prime Capital combination and that partnership in 2023 and beyond? Whatever can you tell us?"
Well, we're aligning with Prime on innovative programs that will help our clients lower pharmacy spend. For program for managing coupons through pharmaceutical manufacturers called Flex Access. We're committing to that program with Prime Therapeutics and very much looking forward to implementing that in 2023. And there's some new programs we've built, with Prime for us. As I was talking about removing waste, there's a program that we're building internally through Prime that is essentially a layer of exclusions that remove drugs that are very high cost but low clinical value. So it helps our clients lower costs where possible to remove wasteful products to create that balanced space for products that they need to cover to support their members and their employees.
That's good. You guys keep submitting your questions if you have them. The thing in the interim here I'd like to do, and perhaps we'll get some help from Andy, is to show a very brief video. It gives you more specifics to the group as it relates to some of the impact that's been made. So, Andy, can you start the video? So welcome back. Just like Samir had been talking about, some of the things that we really try to do together is really focus on outcomes. And really, in the end, isn't it about living well? So that's really one of the things that we've been working on together. So one of the things I think that people might be interested to hearing is, where have we done the best at integration? We brought forth innovative products. We're trying to really work on our communication, as you've talked about, in the way that we work with all the Blues plans. Tell me about what you believe from your seat is the best from the outcomes or our integration process that you would like to highlight.
Well, I have a use case I want to bring. I think for us and understanding real life and what we go through, healthcare is 24/7. And learning from your experiences and continuous improvement, I think, is very important for all of us. And reevaluating what you're doing and who you're doing it for and how it impacts your customer. And for us, it's our members. It could be our employer groups. So, my use case is around, one of those times when I get that phone call on a Saturday morning. We have a member who is in need of a medication. They just got a very significant diagnosis of cancer. They're struggling to get their medication because of some edits that we have in the system to help manage trend. And you know, we all came together. The use case was Capital's team and Prime's pharmacy team all worked together to resolve the situation and make sure that our member, who is our customer, when they're in need, got the medication that they needed in a timely manner. So, I make the phone call once everything's resolved, call the spouse of our member who is, suffering right now and learning about a significant diagnosis, let him know that the drugs are okay. They can get it filled where they are. And, just listen to him, coach him through what's going on, and, just encourage him to support his spouse through the fight that she's going to go through in the next few months. So after all that was done, we went back and reevaluated what we did, what were the edits. We had it edited in place for many years. It was probably great 10 years ago, but when we looked at what the member experience was and what we experienced with them, it made sense to take it out and move forward. And I think really learning from our member experiences, understanding how we impact our members is really important. And that continuous improvement for us is important. We can do great innovative products and implement services to lower trend, but we also have to see the impact on our employees and our members. And I think continuous improvement and reevaluating what you're doing is extremely important. I think that's one of the things that we do pretty well together as a collective collaboration.
Yeah, it's all about integration in the end. Here's a question from Laura. What are the advantages to employers and members for having the two organizations share so much data?
We were able to look at total cost of care, and it's not a singular look at just drug therapy. You can look at because we integrate our medical and pharmacy claims through Prime and are able to look at totally integrated data. We're able to look at drug therapy and the impact on a disease state, and so that's really important when we understand programs that we have through Prime, where we look at opportunities to improve care and lower costs at the same time. Where members on multiple medications, and we could help them by changing medications, lowering doses, removing barriers. That's what you get through integration. You have a connected point, you have data together, and then you have an informed decision that looks at a 360 picture, not just one piece of it, which is pharmacy, the other part that's medical. The integrated picture is just more cohesive.
Appreciate you saying that. I think if you think about what we're trying to do every day, it's really about the individual in the end. And it's truly, truly important that we're all working together on all cylinders to do what we can do to improve outcomes for patients. So we appreciate you, Samir. Appreciate your insights today and just your partnership. It's really been a lot. And I know we've done a lot over the past year, and that has certainly been directly related to you and your team. So appreciate your time today.
Of course, and thank you for having me with you all.
Yeah. I hope you guys will join us for the next installment of Beyond the Script. But I think we do have another question. So, Samir, from Matt, is total cost and adherence better when specialty pharmacy is mandatory, central fill, or more integrated and the local care teams as a healthcare system?
We look at both options. I think when it comes to what's best for the patient and how do you meet the needs of access to care, we take a balanced approach. I think it's important to be responsible when it comes to cost, but it's equally important to have access to care and results delivered to our member to make sure that they're deliver the proper care in a timely manner.
Thanks for that. We have another question from Bradley. Where do outcomes data enter into your equation for evaluation of new biologics?
When we look at any new medication, biologics or non-biologics, we want to look at all the data that are provided, outcomes, comparative effectiveness, place in therapy within a disease state. So safety, efficacy, and cost are all components that we look at when it comes to a new medication. Biologic, of course, are very highly visible. When we look at it, 2% of our medications are 40% of our spend or more. So it's definitely a visibility that we have to think about and consider. So we look at all components when it comes to evaluating a product. It's not just outcomes, it's also safety and efficacy, access to care, and place in therapy. What are the comparative products? Are they studied? How do we look at it in a balanced approach? And that's, what we try to talk about, creating balance.
Okay, it looks like we don't have any other further questions at this time. So again, Samir, it's been great to see you this morning. We appreciate all your comments. I think it's really important that where we can share, we do share in the industry. So in the end, all of us work together for better outcomes for patients and our providers and all the people that we work with to really develop and provide good health care. So we thank you guys for your attendance today, and any feedback, we'll try to get back to you afterwards. And we'll see you at the next installment of Beyond the Script.